The Israeli-Palestinian peace process are two Middle East analysts. Paul Sham is a scholar with the Middle East Institute, a think tank based here in Washington, and Mohammad Oweis, a fellow at the Palestine Affairs Council, an organization which promotes cooperation between Palestinians and Americans. Paul Sham, let me start with you. This statement from Hillary Clinton on the fact that Israel doesn't now have to halt settlements for negotiations to begin, call it what you will, a change in tactics, a change in policy or whatever, does it effectively derail the peace process?
I don't think it necessarily does, but I think the Americans are going to have to come up with something more. Given the expectations raised over the summer when the U.S. was demanding that settlements be frozen completely, the so-called concession of completing those being built now, combined with a 9-month freeze, as I understand it, I can't imagine that satisfying the Palestinians or the Arab League with its peace initiative. So I think it's stalemate for now. I also think Obama is committed to the process, so I don't think it'll stick that way as it is now.
Mohammad Oweis, you were shaking your head.
If Obama is committed to the peace process, he should be pushing for a real peace deal, not reneging on his promise to us Israelis, in fact, to force Israelis to stop all settlement activity. Also, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton have reneged on her promise also that, and she said, you know, total freeze on the settlements, illegal settlements on the Palestinian land. So you spoke about the peace process. There is no peace process. Since 1993, the Palestinians signed every little piece of paper that the Americans and the Israelis asked them to sign, and they got nothing. All what they got more roadblocks, a separation, apartheid wall, and more repression and oppression against the Palestinian people. So I see that America have disengaged itself from the from the Middle East peace process, and I see a deterioration in the region coming soon because of the absence of real comprehensive peace negotiations between all parties concerned.
Let me make the case for Washington here. Did they feel at some point that they'd boxed themselves in on this settlement issue? They were getting nowhere with this.
Well, if they felt that they could not be an honest broker, if they are not an honest broker, they should not stick their head in it. And the president have promised, in order to get maybe some Arab American votes or to please I don't know who, he promised all kinds of things. He needs to deliver on what he promised. Or maybe from what Hillary Clinton have done in Pakistan and then came to Palestine and did what she did, maybe they are walking backwards in order to cover for their failure in their domestic issues here in the United States. I mean, I do not understand what is going on with them.
What I think is happening, it's a change in strategy because the last one wasn't going anywhere. For various political and policy reasons, the U.S. was unwilling or unable to coerce, pressure, force the Israelis into ending settlements as they had demanded. Obama had not promised to end them. He had, in my mind, tried a not very well thought out strategy to try to get Israel to end these settlements. And basically, Netanyahu got the better of him. He could either withdraw or start again. However, it's clear he's not starting at head as he was in June and July. He's shown himself bested by the Israelis, and that's going to make it a lot more difficult.
Well, that's right. I mean, the Israelis have made the United States look like a very weak power with no leverage to accomplish anything.
I'm afraid I agree. The point is the Americans are the only ones who can do anything in this. I think, I think that they will recognize there's going to be, have to be a sense of both incentives and punishments if neither side goes along with the process.
By the action taken by Hillary Clinton today, they prove that America cannot do anything on the Palestinian issue as long as Israel is not listening to them, and they remove themselves from that issue. And I think they just lost their only partner in the Middle East, which is Mahmoud Abbas and his government. This will lead to the failure of Mahmoud Abbas' government, and they are not going to find, not the Israelis or the Americans, they're not going to find a partner for peace before there is a full freeze on settlement and preconditions, the refugees, the borders, Jerusalem, and the settlements. If there is not an agreement like this, on preconditions like these, there is no partner for peace, and I think we are going to see more violence in the region, and America cannot do anything to help Israel, and Israel cannot help itself in a neighborhood that is becoming very hostile to them.
Okay, Mohammad Oweis, let me ask you this. If that is indeed the case, if the United States has now capitulated to Israel, why? Does this nation, the United States, have no power, no leverage to do a bit of arm twisting in the Middle East?
I mean, can President Obama pass his own issues here in the United States? There is a Congress and a Senate who's hostile to Obama, and everybody is hostile to his programs, even domestically. Now they are hostile to his programs and things in Afghanistan, in Palestine, even in Iraq, and they are going after him. So I think it is too late for Mr. Obama to do anything, at least on the Palestinian front. It's going to take a few years before we see who's going to come up again and do something in the region. But I think, like I said, Israel is going to have to pay the price for their intransigence and their grabbing of Palestinian land and mistreating the Palestinians.
Paul Sham, do you agree that the administration's foreign policy as far as Israel and the Palestinians is concerned is being driven by perhaps Congress, perhaps by lobbyists inside the country?
I think it's driven by a combination of factors. Clearly, congressional and support in the country prevents Obama, even if he wants, and I don't think any of us know exactly what he would prefer to do, but he clearly can't go too far, and this is a clear recognition of that. However, I don't think things can stay as they are. I think there will be some movement, positive or negative.
Okay,
there will not be any partner there in the Middle East because they were misled. The Palestinians were misled by Obama and Hillary Clinton, and they are not going to find an easy partner to talk to in the Middle East after
I just need to address one more issue. We have very limited time. We've got about a minute. Just one more issue, and that is, where does this leave Mahmoud Abbas? He's already had to face a climb down.
He's already spoke about not running for elections. Mahmoud Abbas is finished. His corrupt authority is finished. And he was the mouthpiece of certain groups here and there, and he is finished. And I think his organization, Fatah, will be finished after this unless they change to be representative of the Palestinian people, not a tool in the hands of the Israelis or the Americans.
Okay, Paul Sham, the last word. The Israelis have no partner.
I think that the Americans cut the ground out from under Abbas for, by my count, the third time in the last 5 weeks or so. So it will be very difficult, probably impossible, for him to accede to this, and the rules will have to be changed somewhere. He can't, in my view, accept the offer, such as it is, and retain any respect or position.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.